Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are looking at Bendy and the Darq Revival. Now, this caught me completely by surprise. So for these reactions, one of the first things that I look at is what games are coming out in the forthcoming week, right? Like, what do we got coming out? What looks good? And I check a lot of places. I got a whole host of websites because there's a whole bunch of places that want your attention. You got VG247 is probably one of the best ones with the most entries. But then you got like OpenCritic, Metacritic, IGN, freaking Game Informer. Just most video game outlets will have some sort of this because I'm sure it generates a lot of clicks. That said, this is not on any of those lists. This game already came out. This game came out on November 14th, 2022. It just came out like a week ago. And I was like, how did I miss that there was a new Bendy game coming out? I also have a dedicated YouTube channel that I just use for subscribing to places that put up YouTube trailers, okay? So, I'm subscribed to like Game Trailers and GameSpot Trailers and IGN and Nintendo and, individual developer accounts like Bandai Namco and stuff. And I either just missed this because admittedly that channel, like when I check the subscriptions tab, there's just like a couple dozen videos a day because there's new games coming out all the time. This is not a game that I feel like I should have missed. That's on me. But Bendy and the Ink Machine was such a phenomenon when it came out. And I think like episode 1 of Bendy and the Ink Machine came out in like 2016, and then its full release was in 2017. But either way, I didn't even know that a sequel was coming out to Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I found out when it was out. And the only reason I even saw it was because it was in like the new and trending on Steam. And I was like, Bendy and the Darq, like Bendy? Like Ink Bendy? Really? So if you don't know what Bendy and the Ink Machine is, it's a short first-person survival horror experience. It's got a slight puzzle mechanics in it. The best way I can describe it is basically think of if an old school Walt Disney animation studio got shut down and then the animations came to life for revenge, okay? So like you got Bendy, who is the main villain character of the animation studio that is essentially an allegory for Mickey Mouse. Imagine him coming off the page and being a large, like, humanoid-sized creature that is going to kill you, okay? And you need to get away from the animated creature and find a way to escape the studio. And the studio has an ink machine in it, and that's the creatures are made out of the ink from the ink machine, okay? It's a really cool, very heavily stylized experience. I highly recommend it. It was a huge cultural phenomenon back when it came out, and it still holds up today. I realize 2016 and 2017 wasn't that long ago. But anyway, all of that aside, there's apparently a fucking sequel called Bendy and the Darq Revival. Here we are. We're going to check out the trailers for it. These are all, I believe, from Joey Drew Studios' YouTube channel, who is the developer behind Bendy and the Ink Machine and, of course, Bendy and the Darq Revival. We're going to jump back 3 fucking years to freaking April of 2019 when it was apparently initially announced. So, here we go. Thank you for the lurk, Fanny.
Don't be afraid. Don't let the darkness take you. You may walk with angels or cower before demons. But one thing always remains. The choices you make.
I don't know if I can get that easily. Oh, it's a blurry mess anyway. Okay, continuing on. This is the gameplay trailer. And this was also 3 years ago, but in June.
pretty girl like you shouldn't be wandering around all by yourself.
That's Bendy. Oh!
This feels wrong.
Yeah, it looks wrong. Oh, nope. Don't like that. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, we're just gonna keep rolling. So this is the official 2020 trailer from February of 2 years ago. Need to check out the original? I highly recommend it. I've not played all the way through it,
I remember my first day down here.
but what I have played through is fantastic.
I know, it's scary. Keep moving and stay close to the shadows. Above everything else, stay away from the ink demon. He kills anything that moves.
It did not make its 2020 release. Because we're putting our hearts into creating this game for our fans. Yeah, it took 2 more years. That's fine. Nothing. That's okay. I do love when we go through these trailers and it's like releasing 2019, releasing 2020, releasing June 2021, releasing January 2022, and you're like, you guys were trying. You guys were really trying. COVID punched everything. Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, so this moves in now. So I looked hard because of the big jump in time, February 2020 to November 2022. Okay, so they said it's going to be out 2020. It did not release 2020, and they didn't put out another trailer. There was some like dev communications on the YouTube channel, so like that is there. But it wasn't radio silence, Vandashar, but they definitely were just like not getting their 2020 and were like had a lot of extra work I guess they were working on. So moving into 2 weeks ago,
Another late night, another crazy deadline. You can do this, Audrey. What was that?
oh,
What's wrong with me?
Attention, children of the machine. For 211 days, you've lived without the ink demon haunting your steps. I banished him away. In return, I ask just a little favor. There is a stranger. Bring her to me.
looks like a lovely time. Great place for a vacation.
Almost everyone here either can't speak or they're completely mad.
No, I'm not gonna hurt you. Looked like you needed some help.
Don't touch me.
Above everything else, stay away from the ink demon.
What's an ink demon?
He likes to smile, and he kills anything that moves.
Here goes nothing.
They went a lot bigger with this one. I really wish those notations weren't there. I really hate fucking annotations on YouTube when you're trying to, like, enjoy something. Hi, Bendy. You can hide in lockers in this. So one of the interesting things about it, like, they've definitely went bigger because Bendy and the Ink Machine only had a couple of enemies. The main enemy was Bendy. And then there wasn't like all of the smaller enemies and stuff that were all over the place. And it was a much smaller environment because almost the entire thing took place in the art studio, whereas there was like streets and stuff that we saw in this. So
There will be no return.
Bendy, run!
and it's available now. Is there anything else on the end of that? There is not. Okay, so it is available on Steam right now. It's $30. That's actually a decent cost. Bendy and the Ink Machine is $20 and is available on Steam as well. It also has a demo. Do strongly recommend trying out the first one. I'm not sure if there would be anything that carries over into the second game. I mean, they are obviously connected in one way or another because it is the same characters in the same world, but it does seem like a slightly different setup, especially because it seems like Bendy is a good guy and there are multiple characters and stuff in this. But so I'm not sure exactly how it fits in. How many hours do you think the original was? Well, it's easy to find out. We can even check, maybe get an idea of how long this one is if I knew how to type. Bendy and the Ink Machine is, I mean, depending on how you look at it, right? Because how long to beat is very vague sometimes. I normally just try and go off of that middle time. So Bendy and the Ink Machine is 7 hours. It looks like Bendy and the Dark Revival this is in red, so it means it doesn't have enough data to know for sure. So it's looking at 6.5 hours is what the first report of came in. So they're not super, super long. It definitely depends on how much trouble you have with certain mechanics and puzzles and getting away at certain sections. Definitely remember a couple of sections where it was difficult to get away. The game is very forgiving in that aspect, though, of like if you die, you definitely don't lose a whole lot of progress. So it's just something to keep in mind if you do look at trying out these games. So that's Bendy and the Dark Revival, a game that I just like, despite the popularity that was Bendy and the Ink Machine and my plugged-inness to the gaming sphere, just had no idea was a thing that was happening or existing, and got so minimal amounts of coverage on everywhere that I would have kept like tabs on it from, including not even being listed on like probably at least a half dozen, if not a full dozen different, like, these are the games that are coming out this year and soon and stuff. Wasn't on any of those. Including, like, when I was prepping for this, I went and double checked of, like, did I just, like, overlook it? Nope, wasn't on them, which is wild to me, and I don't understand why. But, yeah, so go and check it out. There's a demo, at least for the first game, if you want to go try about Bendy and the Ink Machine. Bendy and the Dark Revival definitely looks to be larger, has some more complex mechanics in it. So go and check it out. I definitely do recommend trying it. It's a single-player horror experience. It's pretty cool. It's got a unique art style and a unique concept. Do recommend. But let me know what your thoughts are if you played Bendy and the Ink Machine. If you've already played this, let me know. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do go watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.